Now, fellow goons, I want to explain the content of one of the stories that I've drafted recently. Also form part of the 15 stories that are inside the lives of Tege and other short stories. The title of that story is The Brown Envelope. The Brown Envelope. Now, literature, every color symbolizes something, from black, white, red, brown. And now, our focus is on two colors, the brown and the white color.
The brown envelope. Now, the introduction part of it reads: The morning sun rose lazily over the dusty rooftops of Kawangware, painting the corrugated iron sheets in shades of gold and rust. The air was thick with the smell of frying mandazi, the exhaust film from matatus honking impatiently along the narrow road. Amid the chaos, a young man in a faded blue overall pushed a wheelbarrow full of sand toward a construction site. His name was Tim Asek, graduate of building technology from one of the country's most prestigious universities. To the casual observer, Tim looked like any other casual laborer hustling to make a living, but beneath the sweat-streaked face and callous hand was a mind sharpened by years of study. Man once dreamed of signing skyscrapers and sustainable housing projects. His degree certificate, neatly folded and sealed in a brown envelope, lay hidden under the thin mattress in a single-room apartment he rented for 2,000 shillings a month. I want us to jump a bit and read something here. So we are starting from the last paragraph on this page. One evening, after a long day at the site, Tim sat outside his room, staring at the sky. The stars blinked faintly through the haze of the city. Thought about his parents back home, still believing their son was working in an office somewhere in Nairobi. He couldn't bring himself to tell them the truth. He sighed deeply. Maybe education was a scam, he muttered. Maybe all those years were for nothing. The next morning, as he arrived at the site, the foreman introduced the new worker. This is Akuno, the foreman said. He'll be helping with the plastering. Tim nodded in greeting. Akuno was tall, lean, and carried himself with quiet confidence. As they worked side by side, they exchanged small talks. By lunchtime, they were sharing stories about their lives. When Tim mentioned he had studied building technology, Akuno's eyes lit up. You too? He asked, surprised. I graduated with a degree in civil engineering. Tim froze, unsure whether to believe him. You are serious? Akuno nodded. Top of my class, but here I am, mixing mortar. For the first time in years, Tim felt a strange sense of relief. He wasn't alone. Someone else understood the pain of wasted potential. They laughed bitterly at their shared misfortune, but beneath the laughter was a spark of connection. Over the next few weeks, Tim and Akuno became closer friends. They worked together, shared meals, and spent evenings discussing life, dreams, and the broken promises of education. One evening, as they sat outside their rooms, Kuno said, You know, maybe we've been looking at this the wrong way. Tim frowned. What do you mean? We keep blaming the system, the government, the economy, but maybe the problem isn't that education is useless.
Maybe we've been waiting for someone to use it for us. I want us to use this cartoon over here to explain the actual meaning of this story titled The Brown Envelope. Now, if you look at that cartoon, I have literally removed the skull so that you can be able to see the white brain. Now, that white brain actually symbolizes academics or the discipline or the education that you have. And if you go down there, you will also see the arm that is masculine color, and it symbolizes the effort. Now, if you get to the brown envelope over there, you realize that the content of that envelope is white in color, and that content actually is the degree certificate that you have, and the brown envelope itself is the effort. In a nutshell, it means that for you to make education or your academics work for you, you always need the effort. And I said in my first book, The Success I Sought, that we are slowly moving from the world of academics to the world of what you can actually do. And